when you've had a long day at work and you get home and you get undressed and you get in that nice warm bath and you lay in there and you take a breath and you just that is exactly how I feel when I'm on my way to this campsite. I know I've been there a million times before, but it is a welcome break, especially at the end of a working week. I said it before and I say it again, just a little bit of respite away from normality is exactly what everybody needs to do from time to time. If you can do it once a week, then fair play, but every now and then, just give you that little bit of time, that just little bit of time that can make you relax and recharge your batteries. So yeah, that is how I'm feeling right now. One thing I haven't got with me today is a bottle of beer. I completely forgot. I just like to have, I'm not drinking any of the spirits at the minute. I'm still off the Jack Daniels and everything like that, the rum and whatever else I've got, Fireball. I'm not drinking none of that. But I do like to have a bit of shandy. I forgot to pick one up today when I was doing my shopping, so I'm going to have to bite the bullet, go to the service station and get something from there. I don't know if they do bitter. If not, it'll just have to be a lager shandy, and I know it'll be a bit more expensive, but I'd just like to settle down with one of them tonight, after I've had my dinner, and if the weather's nice I will get the fire pit out and get that going, and then sit in front of that and have a beer again, and that's the ultimate thing for me on a Friday, it is. So let's start by the services and see how much a beer is going to cost me. Before I get to the services, I'm just going to update on the health thing with the blood pressure, and I'm only going to do this once this weekend because I'm going to try very hard not to dwell on it. Over the past week I've walked 10,000 steps, I've ate every single day under my calorie goal and logged everything on MyFitnessPal, and everything is going in the right direction. Taking my blood pressure medication as directed. I've also got some another medication that I have to take if I start to feel panicky. Yeah, that's it. As far as the blood pressure goes, it's still high, but not as high as it was. Last night, just as I was going to bed, there was a bit of an episode where I felt uncomfortable all night long. I wasn't presenting any of the hypertensive crisis symptoms. There was no headache, no heart palpitations, sweating, none of that, nothing like that. But I felt uncomfortable. My entire body was tense. It was such a strange feeling. But although the blood pressure was high, very high, I wasn't displaying any signs of that hypertension crisis, none of those sort of symptoms, and that's why the doctor keeps telling me that the way that I'm feeling is not linked. But I only feel that way when the blood pressure's high, or is it because I'm feeling a certain way that's sending the blood pressure higher? I have no idea, I don't know. But yeah, that's where we are, and that's all I'm going to say about it this week. Like I say, I want to get to camp and relax. arrived. There's a couple of tents here in a caravan. Nothing major. It's still nice and quiet, which I think it would be, to be honest, because it's end of season now. Not a lot of people want to come out, do they, and do this, but there we are. Anyway, yeah, I went to the services and I picked up a bottle of Hobgoblin Gold beer. This is the weaker one of the two. This is the 4.2% one, but it was about £3.30, I think, and that is good enough for me to make a couple of shandies for tonight. So that'll do. So let's get set up. Now I'm hoping it's not going to rain this evening, because I've just been out there and I've chopped a bunch of wood and set the fire pit up. And I do like the fire pit. It's one of the most relaxing things that that I can do when I'm out camping, you know. I think it's brilliant. So yeah, let's wait and see what the weather does, but at the minute it's very grey. It's not looking too promising, but we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. Right, ever since I've been prattling about in the van, I've been cooking my toast on a frying pan. A little bit of butter in and then just flipping it over until it gets to something that resembles toast. But now I've bought two of these gadget things, one off Amazon and one off Temu. Now this is the Amazon one. I'm not quite sure what they're called. Stove top toaster, is it, or something? And you just set the bread on top, set that on your stove, and apparently it's going to make you some decent toast. Now the Amazon one, quite robust, quite tough, you know, it feels quite solid, handles secure. Now the one on Temu, believe it or not, is probably it's really flimsy. It's, you know, it's not good at all really, although I mean it'll probably do just as good. But tonight I'm only gonna have one piece of toast anyway. I'm gonna cook it on the Amazon one and see how we get on with that. Like I say, I've never used one before. I've seen various people on YouTube use them and there's mixed reviews for them, so we'll give it a go. It's not quite tea time yet, but I'm getting a bit hungry, so I'm just going to have a slice of toast. And yes, I'm meant to be cutting the carbs out, so I've got a loaf of wholemeal bread with no added sugar, so should be okay. Anyway, let's see how we get on. I'm not quite sure whether it goes on full flame or low, so we'll start off on low. Put it on like that and lay the piece of bread over the top like that. Then we'll give it a couple of minutes and see how we get on. Well, it smells like it's cooking. Yeah, I think it's doing the job. Let me just flip it over. Yes, definitely starting to toast. I think you have to probably keep an eye on it. You can't leave it to do its own thing. You're gonna have to keep flipping it over until you figure out roughly how long it takes to toast a bit of bread. But yeah, I don't think that's too bad. I don't think it cost a lot. I think the one from Amazon was about £7 and the one from Temu was about £3 or £4. You know what I mean? But if you like a bit of toast when you're out camping in your van or in a tent, then yeah, this might be the answer. Well, the conclusion is, I mean, as you can see, I put the butter in the fridge and it's quite solid, so I ain't going to be able to spread that. But yeah, it's all right. It's done the job. It's better than it being cooked in a frying pan like I was doing before. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better. I think maybe next time I use it, I will put the heat down a little bit lower, because it looks like it's scorched on the outside a bit and not cooked on the inside. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think after a little bit of playing around with it, I think it'll be all right. It'll definitely be better than the frying pan. And I think in the morning I shall give the Temu one a go. You know, maybe I'll have to do that with a door open and the fire extinguisher nearby, but I'll give it a go. Right, good morning. where are we? 8:10 in the morning. Do you ever get them nights where you sleep really well? You know, the ones that just, I mean, I'm not the best sleeper in the world, but last night I had the best sleep I've had for a long time. It was really good. Real solid and long. Anyway, yeah. Right, we're going to try out this Temu stovetop toaster thing. Like I say, I'm not holding out much hope because it is super flimsy, but I've got to give it a go. So let's see what happens. Well, it's done an okay job, an average job. I mean, if you just have a look, it didn't cook it very evenly, and I think that is because the whole thing itself is ever so slightly twisted out of shape. So it's still better than cooking in a frying pan, but I think the Amazon one is better, and I suppose it's gonna be in it. I mean, you get what you pay for on Temu. It's good, it's all right, it'll do the job if you're real, you know, on a budget or something. But yeah, I'd definitely stick to the Amazon one. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm gonna finish that off and have a cup of tea and sit in bed for a bit, and then I'm gonna go out for a walk and build up my steps. Right, breakfast done, cup of tea done, van clean, got changed. Now out on my walk. I might take a different route today. I've been here so many times now, I know exactly where I'm going. So I might veer off the track that I usually take and have a look at something new. Don't really want to venture out too far, but there's a little bit inside me that is telling me that maybe I should push myself just that little bit further today. I was going to walk up to the services, but I do that walk all the time and I don't really need any supplies. I'm all stocked up for this week, so maybe just an amble around the country will do this time. I definitely believe the cool autumnal mornings are very good for the soul. As I'm walking through here, I've seen some squirrels jumping around and chasing each other through the leaves, and it's quiet and picturesque and calm. Oh, what a beautiful start to the day. I do like this time of the year. I know I mention it a lot, but you know, I think everyone should take a bit of time out this time of the year, go for a walk through the woods or something. It really does make you feel better. Right, well, I'm heading back to the campsite now. I did have a walk into Stotfold, and I did say I weren't going to go and get any supplies, but there was a co-op there, so I went and picked up myself another bottle of beer, just a cheap one, so I can have a couple more shandies tonight. Yeah, big thanks to Sean the Prawn for leaving a couple of comments on my videos. That was rather pleasant. I hope we can do some more chatting in the future, maybe, or have some form of meet up at a campsite. That would be cool. But yeah, that was quite nice, that was. Anyway, yeah, been and got my beer. Didn't have any plans to, like I say, but I don't know, it was quite nice last night. Sat in front of the campfire, and I burnt pretty much all of the wood that I had. I must have had that burning for about an hour and a half, but the wood that I had was just normal bits of timber that I'd chopped down and used as kindling, so I just burnt all that really. I didn't have any tree logs or anything, although I'm hoping to pick some up next week, so maybe then I can have a bit more of a longer burn. But next weekend is the last weekend that I can come here, and when I start utilising Hertford, they don't allow campfires, so just have to make the most of next weekend. You know, when I left the van this morning to come out, it was freezing cold, and it still is. It's still cold, but I know this is a pointless thing that I'm going to record, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was in two minds of wearing that other lumber jacket that I've got, the one that I had on yesterday, because it's quite thick and warm and, you know, quite cosy, but I'm so bloody glad that I didn't. Now I'm approaching, just, I don't know, doing my 5th mile. I'm fucking plenty warm enough in this. I think wearing something big and heavy, even when it is cold, if you're the size I am, it will make you just warm far too quickly and make the walk less enjoyable. So I'm quite content in just wearing something a little bit thinner. Good morning. It's now Sunday. I'm a bit late getting up today. Had a bit of a lay-in, just laid there, and yeah, it's about 11 o'clock now, I think, and I've got to have a quick walk because the heavens are going to open by about midday apparently, and obviously I want to get my steps up. I want to do at least 10,000 today, if not more. And I've just taken another turning through the trails that I usually take from the camp, and it's took me somewhere where I've never been before, so that's quite nice. I'll tell you what, it's all, well, a mixture of farmers' fields and some woodland and an old abandoned barn there, and yeah, it's quite nice. I think it'd look a whole lot better on a blue sky day, but yeah, it's quite pleasant this morning. Now last night I didn't do anything exciting again. I just sat and watched a bunch of YouTube, and I think I watched a film. Did I watch a film? Yeah, I did. Some Ben Affleck movie. It's a bit shit to be honest, but anyway, there we are. And I burnt the rest of my wood as well last night. I went up in the storage area under the bed, cut up bits of old timber again. Everything that I found under the bed I burnt last night, so I'm completely out now. So definitely going to go on the hunt for some logs next week, and hopefully if I can get back, well, I'll get back to this site again, but if the weather allows I'll have another fire, and that'll be that then. So yeah, last night I was watching Darren, the Urban Motorhome, and he was on about the new feature on Park for Night, which has got something called geospots on it. And basically what they are, they're little areas which are private land, but you can go and put yourself on there. You book yourself in for, I think he paid, well, I think you make a donation, but you book yourself in. There's only free spots, free parking things available, but it opens up. It's a bit like going wild camping, but legally. You do pay for it, but I think you can only stay 2 nights maximum. I don't think there's any facilities, but I think it's a wonderful idea, especially with people, you know, that have got a little bit of spare dry land what you could put a camper van or motorhome on. Yeah, it looks quite good, but at the minute there's only 3 in this country, so hopefully it will take off and a lot more will start to appear. Be a good way for people to earn a bit of extra money, but that remains to be seen. But the idea is really good. So it's funny, yesterday I walked near on 5 miles, I think it was, and now I'm only 1.5 miles in today. I'm only doing a shorter one today, but I'm absolutely knackered. It's a right effort doing this today, isn't that weird? I thought the whole idea of being consistent when it comes to exercising and walking would it get easier, but I'm struggling with this one today. I kind of wish that I had my own like nutritionist and personal trainer all built into one, you know, something like that. Someone that can get me back on the straight and narrow when it comes to the health, you know, and do some form of diet plan, an exercise regime that's catered for me and my requirements, you know, my nutritional needs and what I'm capable of when it comes to exercise. Because of the pins and things I've got in my legs and that, I'm a little bit limited because I'm not very flexible. But yeah, it'd be nice to find out what to really do. I'm sure there's someone out there that will do it, you know, a company or I don't know, something. Maybe it's worth looking into. Always been a bit nervy about doing something like that, but maybe now is that time to, you know, poke around the internet and see what you can find. Mind you, getting information on the internet about what to eat and what not to eat, I think they all tell you different things, don't they? You know, eat carbs, don't eat carbs, eat red meat, don't eat red meat, you know, don't drink alcohol, oh, drink alcohol. You know, I think there's a mixed opinion everywhere. I mean, you could say do everything in moderation, but I don't know. Is it that easy? Or should you just get something, when you're like me, a large chap and unfit, get something that is catered especially for me, you know? I don't know. Sorry, waffling on again, and